following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA network, and welcome to our review show here of AEW Full Gear from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. I'm one of your hosts, Karlifornia. This is Jooseyboy. How are you, bro?
Oh, dude, I am not bad at all. And, I just finished watching Full Gear myself not long ago. It's still quite fresh in the old noggin, and I'm excited to break it down with you here today.
Cool, bro. Did you happen to watch the pre-show?
No, of course not.
No. I did, and I only got a couple of notes about it. So the pre-show is called 0 Hour. They open up with a 10-man tag, the Factory against Best Friends. Most of this match, I thought, what even is this? This is too choreographed. Are there any rules to this tag team match? Because the tags didn't mean shit. Again, Orange, I hate being so overly negative, but Orange Cassidy, again, with the pockets thing. It was old a year and a half ago. Just the same typical shit that annoys me about wrestling. I got a lot of it in this match. Because what are the odds that in a multi-man match there will be people conveniently on the outside of the ring to jump on? Happens every single time. It's uncanny, really. So most of this match, Best Friends, it was 4-on-5 because they had a mystery partner who was Danhausen. And Danhausen only finally came out after Orange Cassidy found himself in quite a bit of a pickle. I just don't understand what the point was of him coming out later in the match. Was he just sitting there looking at the monitor, waiting for something to go wrong for his team, in order to come out? I don't know what sense that made at all.
I just think he can't wrestle that much, and so they just don't have him out there for that long.
Right. Well, anyway, if you can't wrestle that much, then I don't know why he's under contract. But yeah. And by the way, when Danhausen came out, this is my last complaint before I move on. When he came out, it took ages because the theme song hits. He comes all the way to the ring. This was after a bunch of dives went to the outside. He did this whole thing in the ring, and the whole time, it had to be 3-4 minutes. There's like 3 or 4 guys still laying down on the ground on the outside from a dive. It's just, yeah. And yeah, then Danhausen got the win. And I just wrote, I don't really get it. I don't know what the point in that was. Okay, I'll be real quick with the rest of the 0 Hour here. Renee Young, I'm calling her Young. She interviews, I can't pronounce his surname, Takeshita. It was awkward because he can't speak English very well, but he was talking about how he has now signed with AEW. Next up, Brian Cage takes on Ricky Starks in an Eliminator tournament match. It was obvious Ricky was going over here. All Toni seems to do, Jooseyboy, is book tournaments. I'd like to guess, count how many he's put on this year.
I don't know why these two are having a match on the pre-show and why something wasn't built between them, like with a view to the main show. Anyway, continue.
I'm almost done. I'm a big fan of the two guys, but I felt like the crowd didn't give much of a shit for this match. Starks goes over.
Why would they?
And he's going to face Ethan Page at Dynamite this week, and I think the winner of that match gets a shot at the championship or something like that. But I can't remember if it's a semi-final or a final. I don't watch the weekly TV. Eddie Kingston has an interview backstage with Renee Young. And Eddie's talking about how he's wrestling Jun Akiyama later on the 0 Hour. And Eddie can barely get any words out because he's so emotional about the fact that he's wrestling a guy who's his hero, I guess. So I thought that was weird. So Jun Akiyama against Eddie Kingston to finish off 0 Hour. I don't know who Jun is. I'm assuming a legend, considering he seemed like an older gentleman. And he represents DDT wrestling. And Excalibur was talking about DDT like anyone gives a shit about it. I found Excalibur on this show to be very annoying. Very annoying.
Yeah.
No one cares about the 4 pillars of Old Japan Pro Wrestling. No one cares except you, nerd. It was okay. It was kind of boring. The finish was fucking anticlimactic though, and the fans stood up and applauded this. What a I don't know. I didn't get it, bro. But you know, I was negative for the pre-show, but I think I feel a little bit better about the main show. Let's get on with the main show, and I'll stop talking here because we're starting off with a cage match here, bro. Luchasaurus with Christian Cage taking on Jungle Boy. What's his name now? Jack Perry. Sorry,
Jack Perry.
Yeah. What did you think of the cage match? The open thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a C minus. I think that it's probably the best match that Jungle Boy's ever had.
Yeah.
I especially liked the first half of the match in particular. I felt like it started to look a bit more cooperative and pre-planned as it got into the second half, and it sort of outstayed its welcome a little bit for my taste. Popped huge for Christian Cage being like removed from the arena and absolutely just going nuts. And in the foreground, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus continue their savage fight, and just you can see off receding in the distance, you can see security still dragging Christian away, and he's still thrashing and flailing like madness overcoming him. Just hilarious stuff. The match itself, though, I really quite enjoyed it. I think they've got something with Jungle Boy. I think that Luchasaurus did not give in to his worst instincts as a performer here in this match, which was good to see. I would like to see more matches like this out of both of these guys that are based around some kind of story, because I think that having this personal issue going on between them as the basis for this match really helped each of them structure and formulate the actual match itself.
Very nice. Yeah, so as usual, I skipped Jungle Boy's entrance. I can't stand. Well, I don't know. I don't remember how you feel about it, but the whoa. Do you hate that as well?
I don't like it. No.
I fucking hate it more than anything that happens on the show. I hate that more than anything.
I actually like the music itself, but I don't like the fans enjoying it. Like stop enjoying it. Like you guys chanting along with it makes it not good anymore.
It ruins the song for me. I'm sure it's
like you've ruined it. It's like when a song is used in an ad that you used to like the song, but then it's being used in an ad and now you associate it with the ad. This is what it's like having you dipshits sing along to his theme song. Anyway, continue on.
Fuck, man. It just fucking annoys me. So you know, and as soon as he won the match, I quickly have to skip forward before everyone starts singing along again, because fuck them. I like that Luchasaurus is working like a big man now. I think it's more suitable, and I'm liking the duo with him and Christian Cage. I haven't been that big on Luchasaurus ever since I've seen AEW, because I wasn't really into the high flying stuff for the bit, even though he was very good at it. I just think he needs to wrestle like a big guy. I did like Jungle Boy pissing out with blood. And there was this power bomb into the side of the cage where Jungle Boy was then trapped between the ring and the cage, which I thought was real fucking nuts. Christian, I love that. Yeah, as just to reflect on what you said, when he snuck the key away from the referee, quickly, swiftly taking it out of his pocket. But the reaction to him being taken away, I was like cackling with laughter. He was so upset, thrashing about.
I also like that he takes the key and then like the camera sort of pans slowly as he walks with the key over to the door. The referee notices almost immediately that he's taken the key and just like Christian's just trying to pretend he's not even there, just going ahead trying to unlock the door and shit like that. Quite funny, really added a lot to the match.
Yeah, like what did he think was going to happen? Like why was he so upset he was being dragged off? We knew he done the wrong thing. There was a destroyer spot, and someone had already done one on the fucking pre-show, so it annoyed me.
Yeah,
one destroyer, a pay-per-view. One person does one destroyer. Stop fucking using each other's moves. Stop blending everyone's move sets together. Fucking have a rule about only these people can do these types of moves in their matches. Fucking hell, man. There's plenty of moves out there. I'm not mad at Jungle Boy because it was a good destroyer, but shit, it's just like the company need to fucking pull back on some of these guys. Choke slam on the folded out chair. Like, okay, I've never been big on Jungle Boy because I've heard him talk in the microphone. But I will give him credit for this match. The dude took a fucking beating. But I still don't believe him as a badass. I know a lot of people think he's one of the guys of the future, but I still just, to me, he's too small. And I know that annoys people when people say that. But the pile driver is a good near fall. Luchasaurus with a tombstone and then a face buster, and then Jack Perry kicked out again. So yeah, it was pretty good. The elbow from the top of the cage was pretty gnarly, and so it was a good start to the pay-per-view. Okay, let's move forward. The trios title match is up next. Death Triangle taking on the Elite, the returning Elite. Bro, you'd think that the Elite must have been gone for 2 years. It's been 2 months. It's been 2 months. What did you think of the trios title match?
It's kind of conflicting. Again, it was a situation where maybe the first third of the match, I was actually enjoying it quite a bit for the style of match that it was. I was like, man, everything's being executed crisply. Everything looks kind of like it's pretty intense and like it's dangerous in the good way. But then as the match progressed along time-wise and they got into the more involved spots where it was all members of the match at one time involved in spots or, simultaneously, then it was just, once again, it's like a broken record to say, but it's the truth of how I felt. It's just more cooperative stuff. It's more shit that looks choreographed, and honestly, like there was some really impressive stuff, particularly from Pac, and there was a lot of moments in the match where I was like, wow, that's incredible that these guys can do this shit. Like that takes a lot of talent, but as far as the match itself, it just was a real garbled mess for me, and it went on a bit too long for my taste too.
Yeah, did you give it a rating?
C-.
Okay. I had a feeling this was going to annoy me. I thought the Elite had a cool entrance. I will give them props for the choice of song. Wayward Son by Kansas, great song. I'm telling you, man, I know that the Young Bucks do this on purpose. They always get their match early in the show when the crowd's hot because they know that the show's going to get burned out later on with all of this kind of shit. So they get their matches on early all the time to get the hot crowd. I guarantee you, because I felt like it was strange that they were second up after the cage match. I have to be honest, like I know this whole drama that's taken place with the Elite and CM Punk. I when the crowd started chanting "fuck CM Punk" at the beginning of the match, I felt like kind of disgusted at them because these were the same fucking people that were fucking blowing their loads and crying in the crowd and all this shit when he made his return. The big love in, Punk jumping into the crowd, everyone cuddling him. We're so happy he's back. Within a year, you have all fucking turned on him because you're a bunch of fucking cunts.
Because you've been reading shit that's been written online that you don't know what's true and what's not. You're like, you have with no one outside of the inner circle of that situation has anything close to an idea of what's going on in that situation, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
And yet you sit there in the crowd chanting "fuck CM Punk," fuck all of you.
Like I don't, I haven't taken anyone's side or whatever it was that fucking went on because to be perfectly honest, I think
both sides are at fault.
It's also it's stupid as fuck.
Silly high school bullshit.
Yeah, like I think Punk shouldn't have acted like a fucking dickbag, and they shouldn't have fucking confronted him. It's barge into the fucking room or whatever the fuck they did. They're all being fucking idiots.
They should have known that they're not the types that should be getting into fights. They're the types that should be just staying out of the way. And then Punk is the type that should just be, once again, keep your opinions to yourself, Con, because they're always annoying, like inevitably. All right.
Anyway, sorry, I had to just talk about that for a minute because it really fucking pisses me off how quickly these AEW fans turn on people when they leave the company, or like I've seen what some of them have said about Cody and all that stuff, and he was never really that good anyway. It's like, fuck off, cunt. All right, you fucking. Anyway, let's move forward. I thought at the beginning this is already shit and fake, and the fans love it, and it pisses me off that they love it because it's fucking fake as fuck. Where they're doing the spots where there's the Lucha brothers and the Young Bucks in the ring, and all four of them hit a super kick to the tip of each other's foot. It's like, what the fuck even is that?
Dude, the dives in particular looked really bad and really stagey. You could see them waiting there for long stretches of time to set those up.
Yeah. The match looked like a dance routine for a lot of it. The referee, again, this fucking bald referee, I can't fucking stand him. If I took over that company, he'd be one of the first people I'd fucking kick to the curb. That cunt is fucking useless.
Yeah, Rick Knox.
Yeah, fuck, I hate him, man. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but fuck. The DDT on the apron was sick, but
yeah, that was
break their neck, bro. Okay, one spot I also hated. I'm so negative, but the Hurricane Rana onto the pile of people on the outside, and everyone in the crowd were fucking loving it. But it was fucking.
It would have been good if everyone hadn't been waiting there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, and I was like, "What was it Michael Nakazawa? Is that his name?"
I just want to point out at this juncture though, before I forget, I popped for the fact that he was there when I saw him in that pile unconscious and in pain. Because I hadn't even noticed that he was out there at ringside. Then all of a sudden I'm looking at him wincing in pain on the ground. And
like he hadn't been actively like getting into a fight with anyone in the match. It somehow he copped the dive as well. Fuck. The triple tombstones did not like that. Not like that.
Took away from shit that we'll talk about later.
Yeah. Fake BS. There was a third destroyer of the show, by the way, during this match. I don't think we got any more after that, but still 3 is too much.
That one took away from the Jungle Boy one because I didn't watch the pre-show and I liked the Canadian Destroyer. Then when they went and did it in this match, I was just like, fuck off. Now it's not special, the one that Jungle Boy did as a counter.
They've ruined these fucking moves, bro. dives were following after that from after the Black Arrow into the Brutalizer, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? So the Lucha Brothers threw the Bucks to the outside. They threw them outside, and then they did a dive onto them. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. That is a fucking stupid spot.
There's no logic to it. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't at all. Why would you throw someone outside and then jump like fuck? But look, I'll be honest with you. I am feeling pretty positive about a lot of the show, but this match was just, again, the same shit that's only going to get over with you little diehard fans. Fight Forever chant again. And at that point, I'm just like, end it already. Why do they need 25, 30 minutes for this?
Yeah, it went too long.
I did like the story with, Ray Phoenix, and Puck wanted to make him use the little hammer to turn heel or whatever. So I did like that. And he did turn, and he did use the hammer, and he got the pin on Kenny Omega. And I was like, thank fuck that they retained, because if the Elite just came back and just took the belts back,
yeah,
I'd have been like, that would have been bullshit. But
that was important that they lost that match. I think it would have been a big mistake to have them not only creatively, but for the optics of the situation as well.
That's it. I agree, bro. But I knew this trios division would lead to this. This is what we're gonna have to put up with every single pay-per-view when we review them. We're always gonna be having the fucking dive spots, because that's the whole fucking point of this trios division. Okay, bro. Let's move forward. TBS Championship. Nyla Rose challenges Jade Cargill. What did you think?
I didn't think very much of this match. I'm going to give it a D-. The biggest thing that I popped for in this match was Vicky Guerrero wearing an I'm Your Mommy shirt in the style of Eddie's old I'm Your Pappy shirt, but it's I'm Your Mommy, and like Vicky Guerrero is wearing it. So that gets a pop from me. Them coming out in a lowrider like Vicky's husband used to gets a pop from me, because it's clearly supposed like being done, represented as if that's a Vicky Guerrero thing. So I'm popping for that. I don't care. The match itself, not that great. Went on too long. Exposed the fact that neither of these two are probably really fully polished enough to be in the position that they're in. And that's pretty much all there is to it.
Fair enough, bro. I'll go through my notes here. I've got a bit to say. And I know you're going to agree with this. Why does Aubrey Edwards have to be so fucking annoying out of the gate? Out of the gate, the first thing that she does, she's immediately yelling at, because Nyla had the belt, and because she had stolen the belt, and the way that she's snatching the belt off Nyla and getting in her face, and like, I think soon into the match, like Jade was choking Nyla in the corner with her boot, and she gets to the count of 4 and grabs Jade Cargill and pulls her. Don't touch the wrestlers. Don't touch the wrestlers. Don't get too involved like that. Just be in the fucking background and stop yelling so loudly, Aubrey. Shit. It's noticeable, man. And people pick on her about it, and she still hasn't corrected it. So, shit.
Yeah.
Right. So I did kind of laugh at the beginning of the match, right? Nyla just goes to the outside and belts Kira Hogan. It made me laugh because I was like, that's made no sense that she did that and then just went straight back into the ring and started the match. But I had a feeling this wasn't going to go very well. So Nyla, she come off the top. Sorry, Jade came off the top rope at one stage, and Nyla put her foot up, and Jade, I don't think she even hit Nyla's boot. You know when they do that stupid spot?
Yeah.
Where they jump off and they hit the foot that's fuck, it looked absolutely terrible. And for some reason, to me, Jade looks uncoordinated out there. She's very fit, but again, she's not an athlete. She doesn't move like an athlete. You can put on as much muscle mass as you want, but you're just a little uncoordinated.
Yeah. No, you know how I would put it, man? It's it always looks like everything that she does in her matches has been practiced 2 or 3 times before doors opened. Like she's gone through a few things with the agent and they've locked those things down for tonight's match and they're just figuring it out as they go along. And I think that that's the way that she's being taught and made to learn because she looks so good. So they want to get her out there and use her immediately. But you can just tell that she, I would be very shocked to find out she's had more than a dozen or so matches before coming to AEW.
Actually, she's only wrestled 42 times, which is her whole AEW career.
There you go.
I remember reading about it last time when I wanted to see what the deal is here. She needs more reps. She needs to wrestle 3, 4, 5 days a week.
She needs to be not on TV in front of millions, like she needs to be, she needs to be on indie shows in front of 600 people, like working against somebody that's probably been doing this for quite a while, and like she needs to learn to have matches against different types of people. Anyway.
Yeah. Because I like her. I think she looks impressive and all that, but I just think they're not doing right by her they had the big screen up saying 42-0 after the match, and it's just like, fuck, man. Because she doesn't come across like she's really this dominant force because she's so uncoordinated when she's out there, and it feels like she hesitates in certain spots because it's like she's thinking about the spot. She goes off the ropes and she kind of hesitates sometimes when she comes off the ropes, and she just feels unsure about herself at times. And then there was a great reversal of Jaded it wasn't great, but Nyla reversed it, and I popped for JR saying that was bowling shoe ugly, but they got there in the end. And here we go. Jade was sure about herself right at the end of the match when she hit a good pump kick, and then she hit the Jaded after that on Nyla. And it was like the end was good because she seemed sure of herself in those moments. Whereas the whole rest of the match, she just was stuck in the mud and, as I said before, hesitant in some things.
Yeah, you just need to get her in the ring with the other women on the roster and just get them doing reps, get them practicing stuff, and just get it to the point where it's second nature to do these things, like the pump kick and the Jaded move and all that stuff.
Anyway, bro, let's move forward. Ring of Honor World Championship match. Jericho defends the Ring of Honor Championship against Claudio, Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and Fuckhead. Bro, take it away. What did you think of the Ring of Honor World Title match?
Honestly, I have high praise for this match. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm going to give it an A-. I thought that Jericho rose to the occasion for this match. I think that obviously Bryan Danielson and Cesaro, I think naturally you're going to expect them to be excellent at delivering that classic Ring of Honor style. You throw a Sammy Guevara in that's a bit more modern, but he can clearly he was inspired by some of that Ring of Honor style as well in the way that he works. All that really came together. I liked the idea of different alliances being formed. Jericho and Sammy, obviously, Danielson and Claudio. I think that this match was fucking actually tremendous. Like, I was like, here we have 3 real pros, real veterans, guys that have done this at WrestleMania, and they've been there and done it on the highest stage. Then we have Sammy Guevara that's hanging with them. This was possibly my favorite match on the show. I haven't really decided yet, but even though I'm not a huge fan of Chris Jericho, I have to say I was a huge fan of this match, and I think that it's actually some smart booking to have Jericho weasel his way out of that match as the winner.
Yeah, cool, bro. Yeah, I'd have to say this is very close to being my favorite match of the show. I thought it was absolutely fucking excellent. Again, Jericho's entrance, I skipped. The moron crowd still singing a heels theme song.
No one cares. You're not a part of it. We don't need your singing.
With such like fun police. It annoys me that they have fun with it so much. It's just cringeworthy.
Yeah, stop being so overtly happy about it. Like, yeah, like we all enjoy it, but we're not sitting there going, "Oh boy, I can't wait to go see the wrestling." Fuck you, dude. All right.
I do like the story of Jericho wanting to ruin Ring of Honor and the legacy of the title. I think it's an interesting way to go about it. I do think Bryan Danielson does not seem as important now as he did when he came in, because he was doing some stuff right up the top of the card when he came in, and now I kind of feel like he's getting a little lost in the shuffle there.
Yeah, I feel
Jericho
like
has gone on for a long time.
Yeah, they're really using Bryan Danielson as a utility guy. They should be using him as a top guy. With that heel persona that he was doing for a while.
Yeah. I did like the spot of Bryan and Claudio shaking hands, but then they don't let go. I thought that was an interesting spot. Telling us the story that they're about to tangle it up. I think Ian Riccoboni should have called the fucking match. They had like 4 people on commentary for the match, and I'm just like, I can't wait till they get this Ring of Honor TV deal, because I really don't think that they have enough fucking shit to worry about than having to have all the Ring of Honor titles being defended and all that. Anyway, the double crab spot was sick, but Sammy ruined it with his shitty cutters. Another thing I want to say about Sammy Guevara, look, we all know how I feel about Sammy. I think he pokes his tongue out all the time because I think he thinks it does a lot of heavy lifting for his shit personality, but it just adds more evidence to the fact that he has no substance whatsoever. I see through him. I see through him. Anyway, the only negative thing that I was thinking during this match was just that I hate when these multi-man matches, there's always 2 people laying down on the outside for ages. Like Claudio was gone for such a long portion of the match. I was like, where is he? Did he get injured or something?
Yeah, guy with that cardio, there's no way that he
was gone. Right, it had to have been like 6-7 minutes, which felt like a very long time. I'm not a fan of Sammy Guevara, and I'll probably just have to get over it. I've got so many notes here where I'm ripping into him. I'm just gonna cut it short. Another great quote from Jim Ross. When I think Sammy had hit Jericho or something like that. I just stepped in something and it doesn't smell good. So anyway, I love the counter of the uppercut into the backslide. Danielson and Claudio, they put on a clinic when they're in that ring together. Danielson no-sells a Spanish fly off the top. But anyway, the great finish to the match. I have to say, I liked the big swing on Sammy, and then Jericho fucking leaps into both of them with the Judas effect, and then hits another one to pin.
Yeah,
that was a nice finish. I thought it was very close to being match of the show. Okay, let's move forward, bro. Britt Baker taking on Saraya, the former page from WWE, in her return to the ring after all these years. What did you think, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B+. I thought that it was a actually a lot better than I expected. I thought that Saraya / Paige like really wrestled a good little match here. I think that immediately she is someone that adds star power to the AEW women's division because immediately she is more of a name than a lot of them there. And I think that she's going to be a really valuable asset for them if she can keep performing at this level going forward.
Yeah, cool. I thought Saraya looked hot. At the beginning, I felt like she was a little uncomfortable. It was just a feeling. On Twitter this week, last week, everyone was going on and on about how great it was that AEW having 3 women's matches on the pay-per-view. And I'm like, you fucking bunch of dickheads. Like, Impact have been doing that consistently all year. NWA has been doing that all year. Multiple women's matches on shows. Like, look how great. No, things aren't that great, okay? I can't stand these fans, bro. The match, I felt like it felt a little disjointed at the beginning. I felt like it was a little stuck in the mud, but it got better as it moved along. I thought that it was, as the match wore on, Saraya got more confident, and I thought they worked well together. Saraya gets the win. I think one thing that kind of hurt this match, though, was the crowd were fucking sitting on their hands, barely fucking gave a shit. I don't know what their fucking problem was. They gave her a cute little welcome back chant. Maybe this shouldn't have followed the Ring of Honor match. Maybe they were a bit tired. Okay. After this, we get a shot of MJF backstage. Guess he's getting ready, mentally prepared for his title shot later on. And Moxley was cuddling Wheeler Yuta with William Regal standing there watching on. I don't know if you saw this, bro, but they were doing like the grappling practice or whatever. It just looked like a cuddle. All right, moving forward. TNT title match. Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse, Hobbs, 3-way. What did you think, bro?
Probably a B+ as well. Popped mega huge for a lot of this match. I thought that this was, the big Haas match. I really enjoyed it. I thought that Wardlow, in particular, really showed a lot. I think that's a reason why people see a big upside with him. I popped mega huge for Samoa Joe at the very end, being a complete savage and just ruthlessly locking in that hold, even though the guy was already done for basically at that point. He still locked it in, just devastated him. I thought that was amazing. I love the idea of Samoa Joe now having the Ring of Honor TV title and the TNT championship both at once. That's a good little position for Samoa Joe. Hopefully they actually continue to do something with it. Little bit concerned about where they might be going with Wardlow and Hobbs, because it just seems like those are 2 can't miss opportunities that just seem to be left by the wayside a lot of the time.
I agree. That was one thing I wanted to talk about, because I just feel like the people were with him after that feud with MJF was blown off however many months ago. The follow-up after that, he just he's had no angle that's meant anything. Like putting in with FTR and working with Jay Lethal, and there was a few other little things here and there, teaming with Joe. It just felt like, man, you had this moment with him where the people were with him, and you didn't have a game plan, Tony. You didn't know what you were going to do with him next, and that's why I feel like a bit of the steam that Wardlow had is now kind of gone. But I like all 3 of these dudes. Obviously, I'm a fan of Joe, but I like Wardlow and I like Hobbs. Like Wardlow he leapt to the top rope and then did a corkscrew off the top rope onto both of the guys. I thought that was fucking impressive for a dude that size.
It was impressive. He shouldn't really be doing a corkscrew like that, but it was still it's impressive that the guy can do it, but he doesn't need to be doing it though.
Yeah, he doesn't. Because then after that, he hit a swanton bomb. Not a senton Excalibur. A senton's when you land on
swanton, like a swanton bomb is when you do a swan dive on the way down. Okay, dipshit. So since Wardlow did the whole swan dive motion with the head out and the arms back like a swan, it was a swanton bomb.
Yeah. Well, how nerdy was that exchange there between you and I? But we get mad at Excalibur for being a nerd and calling things a Jujikatami when it's just a fucking armbar.
Oh, well, fuck. Like,
fuck it, man.
If you're going to be a nerd, at least be a nerd like the fun way, and actually know the difference.
I thought Wardlow shined in this. But again, I think they really need to get this Ring of Honor TV deal going. They just got too many people on the roster, and that's why we've got all these fucking multi-people matches, So many multi-mans, tags, all this shit. I'm concerned because he's trying to fucking shoehorn as many people in on the pay-per-views as possible. And I get it, but still. Hobbs with the big spine buster. Again, I felt like the match was going a little long, but it did end soon after that. I really did enjoy this match. Hobbs copping all these power bombs. And then Joe manages to win the TNT title. But there's so many titles now. There's so many titles. They need Ring of Honor to have this TV deal, and so they can get them all separated. Okay, bro. Jericho gets an interview with Tony Schiavone, and I'm like, why is Tony conducting interviews? You have Renee Young right there. Why do you drag in Tony from the fucking commentary desk to interview someone for fucking 20 seconds? So Orange Cassidy interrupted him, talking about how Tomohiro Ishii's challenging Jericho at Dynamite. I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, I think Ishii's a good wrestler, but who fucking cares? Like, Tony still doesn't understand that these Japanese guys that you bring in, that you have shown no hype video of, no footage of, we don't know anything about. If we're a casual fan, no wonder the ratings are shit, dude.
It doesn't matter. Like, I did pop for Jake Hager with the references to the hat on several occasions. Like, yeah, I'd like that title match as much as I like this hat. And then everyone got a pop or whatever. And then the guy at the end, he's like, nice hat. And Swag is like, yeah, I know it's a nice hat.
That was good, yeah.
This guy was a former world heavyweight champion in WWE, man. Like,
I just hope that they don't, what AEW and WWE usually do. Something funny happens, and then they fucking take that funny thing and they just fucking drive it into the fucking ground until it's not funny anymore. I like the subtlety of a joke like that. I hope they don't fucking milk it until it's fucking dead.
it was actually good, so they won't do anything with it. They'll just,
I should hope,
ignore it.
I know we said this before in some of the reviews, bro, but every time they shoot a shot of the commentators, I just think Excalibur looks like a fucking idiot. What do you think?
Yeah, with the mask and the suit, it's like, dude, your wrestling days are over, but like when you were an active wrestler, still nobody would know who it was if you took the mask off. It's not like everyone would be like, oh, it's him. Like, are you Lance Storm under there? Like, are you Keith Hart? Who are you under there that it's so crucial that we not have your true identity revealed? Like, it's stupid. Let's just move on.
Let's move forward, man. This is a 4-hour fucking show, and I watched a stupid pre-show. It's too long. It needs to be 3 hours. I can't believe how much more of the show we've still got to go. I think we've got 4 matches.
Yeah, I know.
That's too much, man. Okay, we'll try. Let's try and blow through this. I think every Darby Allin feud has been pretty much a carbon copy of one another, except for maybe the MJF feud. It's the same situations that arise on pay-per-view with the tag team match. And I'm sure Darby is going to have a coffin match with Jay Lethal at some point on TV in the next few weeks. It's been the same thing for a little while now. Like, I'm talking like, it's been about a year and a half of the same shit. Toni, think of some other situations and stories. He can't. He doesn't know what he's doing. And another thing I wanted to bring up, bro, people on Twitter complaining about Jeff Jarrett being in AEW and wrestling on the pay-per-view. These fucking fans, bro.
Like, how could
you
not be excited for this? Things on the show. Him and Sting interacting was like so much fun.
Excuse me, I've got a tickle in my throat. Anyway, I just can't believe these fans. I don't know what beef they have with Jeff Jarrett, but they were like, oh, he shouldn't be wrestling on the show. Why are the old guys? Because they're fucking over, you dumb fuck. Okay. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal take on Sting and Darby Allin. What did you think, bro?
I actually really enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought that Sting looked like he was really having a good match out there. I thought that Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett worked quite well as a team. I don't know. There was something about this that worked for me. I really liked it. I'm giving it a B+. I agree with you that they aren't really doing enough with either Darby or Sting. Like, at this point, Darby needs to be being built as one of the future championship contenders in this company, and Sting's career needs to be being wound down with a couple of big programs, against maybe somebody like PCO, or I don't know, just some people like that he can really have some singles programs with, and he can still accompany Darby to ringside or whatever. But I think the time of them kind of just being a tag team, that's well past run its course. And I think this was a good match, but only due to the efforts of the individuals involved. I think that booking wise, this left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I just think I don't know, it's getting a little old. Like, I get it. I think Sting and Darby is a good duo, but after all this time, with all these stories that they've been a part of, have been kind of the same stories over and over again, leading to very similar situations. I think at some point you've got to figure out, okay, what is the ultimate destination with Sting, and how are we going to get there? What do we want to do with Sting and Darby? How is that relationship going to either dissolve, or is it going to stay? Are they going to stay together till Sting's gone? What is the plan? I don't know. I just think something different needs to happen. Anyway.
Yeah.
Jarrett brings out some tiny stings with him. And then Darby did something to Jay Lethal, and the fucking camera missed it because it was focusing on Jarrett and Sting, who were in the ring there. I thought Sting, fuck, man, these guys are going to really hurt themselves one day. Jay Lethal's thrown off the top rope and takes like a back bump onto the ring apron.
Yeah, that was hectic.
I did like the coffin drop off the ladder that was caught by Satnam Singh, who then just fucking plowed Darby into the.
that was a huge pop for me.
Oh man, he ate so much.
Also,
shit.
A huge pop for the later choke slam that he delivered to Sting, just wrecking Sting. Like,
yeah, fuck, bro, that was hectic. Sting jumping off the balcony again. Like, see, all these fans whinge when they find out Sting's going to be wrestling on the show because he's an older guy. Like, I don't know what their fucking problem is, but then they start popping because he does some fucking cool shit in the match.
He's still doing all the shit. It's like, I think age doesn't really matter as long as you can still like have a good performance in the ring. You know,
As
it
long as
doesn't
he can
even
still
matter
move.
it doesn't even matter what style you do. If you can do it well, like,
Yeah. It's not like he's Ric Flair going out there, barely fucking move.
yeah.
I was just confused as to why Sting was dressed like he's going to sit in front of a fireplace and read a book. The jumper he had on, the sweater, it just that's what made me think of. Anyway, I love the guitar shot to Darby's spine on the way down from the coffin drop.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome. And the death drop with the coffin drop, very good stuff. I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed everyone's interactions in this match. I thought Satnam did a good job, the big man. And Sting death dropping Lethal from the lethal injection was pretty cool. But a nice win there for Darby and Sting. Let's move forward, bro.
Yeah.
AEW Interim Women's Championship match. I still hate the interim bullshit. It's Toni Storm defending against Jamie Hayter. What did you think?
I think both women are very talented. I don't have a ton to say about the match, though. It didn't have any hate on it for me. Talented ladies that can have a lot to offer as far as, being a part of the roster, but I don't think there's been really a compelling narrative reason to care about them. I agree with you that this interim stuff is just bullshit. We need a women's champion. I'd more inclined to be interested in the Jade Cargill Nyla Rose match that occurred earlier, because at least there, Cargill is the established champion, the established dominant force in that division. So that's something that was missing from this. It didn't really feel like a pay-per-view women's world championship match.
Fair enough, bro. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know how long Thunder Rose is out for, but fuck, you think after a little while, like, they just make it whatever. Because to me, it's like, does it really mean anything when you win it? Like, I don't know if it means, like, would it mean, as because Jamie Hayter wins the belt here, does it mean heaps to her that she won this, or is it like a little asterisk on it because it's kind of like, well, it's not really the main belt because the main belt's whatever.
If it was made an automatic rule that a person that wins an interim championship is immediately the number one contender for the lineal champion, then that would be something interesting, because then you could win the interim championship, but people would still question whether you had it in you to truly be champion, because you'd still have to beat the existing champion. But they don't seem to do that. They seem to just act as if we should treat the interim champion equally.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of it. Anyway, I find matches like this more interesting when both wrestlers are as attractive as these two are. I'm sorry, I had to say it. They're both hot, bro. The match got more and more physical as it moved along. I like Jamie Hayter's snap suplexes. But what I don't like is Excalibur trying to take up all this time to explain the torque of Jamie's hips when she snaps a suplex. Shut up, you nerd. I did like Toni's hip attacks. They were pretty fucking snug. And another thing I noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this before, bro, but referees, when they get down to make to count, they always hit one of the wrestlers' hair. If they got long hair, I always see them put that. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know why I found that weird, but I just did. Anyway, sorry. Paul Turner gets his cum shot moment of getting to throw Rebel out of there. And then, okay, this is my complaint about the match. I like most of it, but Britt Baker then interrupted and stomped Toni on the head onto the title belt on the outside. And then Toni kicked out of a driver. I get it. You want near falls, but people kicking out of shit they shouldn't kick out of really sucks, man. Because this is a good match and all, but Like Jamie's kicking out of Tony's finisher. Toni kicks out of the hate breaker. Fans chant, "This is awesome." People think matches are good these days because people kick out of finishes. That's, to me, that's not creating the correct kind of drama when you're coming up with your finishes for your match. You got to protect your finishes. You know, I just, it's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve. Anyway, Britt cops it fucking off the top rope. Toni hits that exposed turnbuckle, and then she's laid out with the Haterade. Jamie Hayter wins the interim title. The only other thing that annoyed me was when Toni hit headfirst into the exposed turnbuckle, referee Paul Turner quickly turned his head away. So it did, like, it's just like, fucking, come on, bro. Anyway, not bad. Big fan of Jamie Hayter. Thought that she should have gone over. Let's move forward. Moxley doing stretches backstage in the same spot an hour and a half after we first saw him in that spot. Come on. Okay, let's move forward. Tag team titles, bro. 2 to go. 2 to go. The Acclaimed defending against Swerve in Our Glory. What did you think?
I thought this was an incredible match. I'm giving it a B+. This was probably my favorite match of the night as far as a personal fan. I think that the Acclaimed are somebody that I can see making the jump over to WWE someday and having a little run up in the big time there. But for now, I think that they are one of the better tag teams in this company. I think that they need to start building towards a potential pay-per-view match against FTR. As far as the match, I really enjoyed the whole storyline of Swerve kind of, going against Keith Lee and wanting to use the piece of guardrail, and Keith Lee doesn't want to, and then Keith Lee's the one that ends up going through the piece of guardrail, and there's stuff like that. I actually thought that came off really well. I actually thought that this was one of the most cohesive parts of the entire show. I definitely think that Bowens and Max Costa are just, they're stars. They're a star of a tag team, and I can't wait to see where they go from here.
Yeah, if I were someone in WWE, bro, I would be looking very closely at the Acclaimed, and I would be trying to bring them over as soon as humanly possible, because I think they have a lot of upside to them. Did you know that there's people out there, bro, that think Billy Gunn is more over now than he was when he was in DX?
No, he's pretty over now, but it's still a whole different thing when every arena, is filled with 15, 20,000 people.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. Like when you're also in the prime of your career and like at the prime of your athleticism and everything like that.
Yeah, and these
I'd
fans,
say it might be fair to say that he's got more time to stop and smell the roses and enjoy however he is compared to the first time. But yeah.
Yep. So like, these fans, dude, they're going to drive this scissor me daddy shit into the ground. And I think it's stupid that there are grown men in the crowd wearing a pink shirt saying, "Oh, scissor me daddy." Like, do you not think what the general public are going to think when they see you wearing that? Like, I don't know.
And like you think it's being funny and quirky, but it's like, it's only funny and quirky if you're already in the AEW fan bubble. If you just live in the regular real world, it's just kind of like, so what, are you suggesting that you're gay? Which that's fine, but then are you also openly discussing your sexual habits like on a t-shirt? Like, it's inappropriate. Like, it's just kind of, it's not as funny and quirky as people seem to think that it is.
I think so.
Outside of the context of the actual match, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn actually performing, it doesn't really work, you know.
Yeah. So like every time they started chanting it, I skipped until they had stopped. Luckily, like I didn't miss a lot of action by doing that, but every few minutes they start doing it again. So Swerve grabbed that guardrail. And I was confused as to why he would do that during a tag team title match, but we found out what the reason was for that later on. I don't really have too much to say about this. Yeah, Keith saving Swerve from going into the guardrail. I thought that was a nice little touch, especially after he fucking copped it soon after. The crowd are weird though, man, because I thought this was a good match, but they were absolutely silent when Bowens hit his finisher, which is a great move on Swerve. No reaction to the pin attempt. Then they start chanting, "Oh, Sesame Daddy" again. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, it was weird. I thought that was a moment that should have had a pop to it.
Yeah, it was just, geez, like they were just so bipolar in this match. And soon after this, Swerve gets the advantage on Bowens and then nails this collection of jumping kicks to Bowens' head. And I was like, they're fucking shit. Do something else. I don't mean to be so negative, but some little things like that, I just thought that they didn't look snug enough. So yeah, a lot of finishes being kicked out of. But there was a spot earlier with the death triangle with the hammer, and it happened similar spot coming into this matchup with Swerve trying to get Keith Lee to use the pliers or whatever the fuck. Like again, I think rule of one.
Yeah, that was it was a little weird as well in this match and a little out of place.
Yeah. So like he slaps Keith Lee, right? And this is my only other complaint. Other than this was a great match. He slaps Keith Lee. Keith Lee leaves him there, and Swerve's upset about the situation. And then Bowens rolls up Swerve, and the crowd were like really into it. They thought it was going to be a 3. Then they had to do some extra stuff to get to the finish of the match. I think that should have been the finish.
Yeah, just go for it at that fever pitch. Just end the match there. Get that big 3 count. Like, oh, Keith Lee's gone. What the fuck? Now there's no one to defend him. Oh, he's being rolled up while he's distracted. It's over. Yeah. And the team that we love has gotten the win as a result of this. Everyone's excited, you know. I totally agree as well. Continuing on after that point for 1 or 2 spots was just overkill.
Yeah, it's what we used to complain about when we talk about Kenny Omega championship matches. It always end up just doing or Young Bucks do it too. They have them right there for the finish, but then no, they're going to do this, then pick them up and do this move, and then this fucking move. Just finish it with the one thing. Anyway, but great match, and happy that the Acclaimed retained. I don't know if you saw this between this match and the main event, which we're talking about next, Jooseyboy, but did you know that they're now going to be doing a best of 7 series between the Death Triangle and the Elite, the trios titles? Best of 7, bro. But when I saw that, I was like, "Fuck that!" I'm so glad I don't watch the fucking the regular TV. There's no fucking way I'm sitting through 6 more of those matches.
Forget it. I'm not biting on it. Let's go to the main event.
All right, time for the main event of the evening: AEW World Championship, bro. Jon Moxley taking on MJF. Your thoughts?
Jon Moxley's ring attire looks like absolute shit. He himself is kind of looking pudgy and out of shape, and it feels like in his mind he's trying to do the not impressive body look, but still a tough guy vibe. But it's not working. It's just making him look old and just unappealing to look at. I think that MJF actually worked quite well with Moxley here. I thought that his selling of the knee was absolutely splendid, just as it was the previous time that we saw him use this plot device, which would have been over a year ago by now. So it's okay for him to bust it out again here. I think that, everything from that point on kind of revolving around that knee, as far as MJF was concerned, just heightened the dramatic tension so much. I thought that the finish to this was the perfect way to do the finish. I really liked the whole thing with Regal. I'm so stoked that the title is off of Moxley. I think that it is definitely the right move to put the belt on MJF. You can have him come out for the next 6 weeks theoretically and just brag about how good he is. Props to Moxley for holding up his end of this and doing really, putting on quite a good performance, as we've known he's capable of doing. But it's definitely a great thing to see the title off of him. And yeah, I guess that's about it. In summing up, I would say that I was also left wondering what might have been from another MJF versus CM Punk pay-per-view match, which I think would have probably far exceeded the quality of this particular match. But anyway, it was a pretty good main event contest, and it's good to see MJF with the championship.
Yeah, good decision here by the people in charge to get MJF to be the top guy at this point. It's just obvious that that's who you should go with. So Moxley's entrance got a hard skip from me. He still annoys me, man. I don't think he's edgy with his rude finger,
with the shoulder walking, and just
God, man, like I'm sick of this tough guy thing he does, because I don't think you're that tough, bro. Okay, I don't think you're that tough.
You may be, but it's not coming across like.
No, it's coming across fraudulent. Stop wrestling without a shirt on if you're gonna look like that, bro. Stop it. This body shaming. Shut up, okay? They're wrestlers. They're wrestlers. Put on a shirt, just a little singlet, whatever. I don't know. But his pants look like trackies. I love the spot where MJF looked like he was going to do a dive to the outside and he didn't. He just taunted. That was great. There was a Falconari into a Jujigatami. Again, Excalibur. How about say fucking armbar, you nerd? Thought it was weird Moxley hit a cutter. I loved the tombstone on the apron, and I thought the pile driver off the apron through the table was pretty gnarly. And MJF, I have to agree with you, bro. The selling of the knee, the selling during the figure four, fantastic. Little dangerous though with that avalanche double arm DDT or the paradigm shift. But still, they went for it. The best part of the match had nothing to do with wrestling moves, had nothing to do with fancy bullshit. All it had to do was with MJF pulling that ring out of his pants, Regal making him throw the ring away. The referee gets nailed. Regal tells Moxley to go over to the referee and check on him. And the referee was selling for a long time. Then Regal throws the knucks to MJF. I fucking love that, bro. Regal has turned. MJF fucking clocks Moxley. He's the new champion, and he's still going to be a heel. Excellent.
Good decision there.
Yeah. And one other thing I was laughing about was after MJF had left the ring, Moxley was still out completely cold, and no one was checking to see if he was okay. He was such an afterthought. The referees were around the ring. They were worried about themselves. Moxley's just like, he could be dead and no one would know. Anyway, bro, that's our AEW Full Gear review. Do you have any final thoughts and a rating out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd probably give that about a 6.5 to a 7, maybe. I think that it was a pretty good show, better than what I was expecting. I do think that Tony's booking sensibilities continue to hold the product back more than their actual roster does, because I think even with the flaws within their roster, a proper booker would be able to kind of hide the weaknesses in that roster and get the best out of everybody. But so it could have been better, but having said that, not a bad show at all either.
Yeah, I'll probably give this a 6.5 out of 10 as well. And what I'd like to say is that I think out of all the AEW pay-per-views that I've seen this year, this is the one that I liked the most. I ain't liked any pay-per-views since the not All Out this year, the previous All Out last year. So it's been a while, but I didn't hate this show, which is a nice sign, hopefully a sign of things to come. Because no matter what I say on these reviews, I'm still backing I still want them to do good, but Tony just needs to stop booking the product, and I think things will improve, and they need to stop being so, niche and, whatever it is that they're doing, bro. But anyway, there we have it, bro. Thank you very much for your time reviewing Full Gear with me.
You're very welcome, motherfucker.
And thank all of you out there for checking out the WZWA fucking network. Check us out on Pro Wrestling Tees. We're on every single platform you can possibly think of. I'm Karlifornia. This is Jooseyboy, and we will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA network.